Before I forgot, I need to re-add the straps on the tie and the belly. So let's see this tie right here. I think I can move it just a little to outside like this, just to create this triangle, this long triangle similar with this one here. So let's turn on the strap. It's located on bunny suit folder. So I'll just open up the bunny suit folder here. And check. As I mentioned before, there's a lot of distortion on this part here, so we're going to fix it. Let's focus on the tie area first. Let me hide this back hip first, and this close as well. So this part right here, same, using Gizmo. Select this one, and this one. Lower it down. Make sure to follow the reference. Clean it a little bit down. Like this. Now we adjust the position. Same as before, we try to adjust it following the skin surface. Now we can add the dam standard here. Adjust this curve. This part right here, I'll pull this more inside. And inflate just a bit. This one just match with the previous one here. I'm not sure if I think I forgot to add the button here. These three parts here should be easy to add. Now try to match the position of these three straps here. This one, since it's not distorted too much, I still can reuse this. Should be like this. This part here should be around here. For this part, I think we can add some folds. Just a quick folds like this. Or maybe you can just mask, smooth, and rotate them like this, or use move brush. So we have this kind of folds. This one looks a bit too short compared to this one. It should be fine. Okay, next we'll adjust this part right here. This one, the ring part is a little bit distorted. We will take a new one from the T-pose. And I'll think I will just merge this here with these 3 rings. I'll just create a single group here. This one since it doesn't have any subdivision, you can just add a little, maybe 3, just enough. This one, and merge down, always okay. So now we have this part, and from here I will just insert right on this model here, insert, go to the center and adjust position. We can use the reference from our previously 3 rings here. This transparency to get a better view. Need to rotate this right here. Turn off the ring. I think something like this. Let's go lower and split these 3 rings now. Reconstruct. We can just adjust this position. This need to be connected. We can use this one as a reference. Shift S. This one right here, I think can be a little bit lower. And this part here, go to the outside. I think I want to keep the gap for this part here, just so we can know that this part here is spirited. This should be inside and this one outside. Try to adjust the intersection. Make sure it has some weight, so it curved down like this. This one should be around here. So the one on the top has less gap compared to the one on the bottom, since we have the gravitation. So once we've done with the strap, this one right here, this part here, try to follow the line. I think this one can be a little bit to the up, so like this, and this rotate up a bit. I think I masked this, so rotate this up. Should be has a better gap now. And don't forget the button here. I know it's distorted a bit, but since it is pretty simple, so you can just adjust it using move like this. Don't forget to add the tree here, the tree button. Same process, I am encoding. Add this one here, duplicate, holding Ctrl and Alt and drag. Now we should be done. For the straps, press all high, so this is turn all your subtool to the highest subdivision level, and let me unhide the gloves. And now we can focus on the back cape. First, I need to separate these two parts here. The way how I do it is just delt lower, and I don't want to auto group because I want to keep the thickness polygroup here. So I'll just use select lasso. Make sure to select everything carefully. Make sure you don't leave any polygon. And I can split hidden, reconstruct a couple of times. And now it's separated object with this one here. Same with the other parts. So now this will be a bit hard to select since these two parts here is merged on the center here. So I'm going to select this polygroup, Alt A, auto group, Alt A, Alt A. Let me select the surface here and then Alt A. So this edge poly loop here will be separated. So now the lower, select this three poly group, split hidden, reconstruct. So this should be fine. Reconstruct the other part. So now we have separated parts on each cape here. We can now focus on each one here. So since I already grouped this part here, I'm going to hide this part, this strap on the back of the cape here. Now we can just focus on the cape. As I mentioned before, the shapes is a little bit different because I'm trying to keep balance. Let me try once again to make this a little bit up, or maybe lower like this. Like this, maybe just try to follow the reference. For refining this part here, make sure the one on the back here, the width here, adjust it to make it the same, this white line here. Later we need to add the button on each of these individual point here. So right here I'll just change my polygon. As you can see, there's edge, there's a line like this. I want to remove that. It's actually from the T-pose, so made some mistake there. It's fine. Should be easy to remove the line. Remove it like this. And since there's a little clothing faults here, make sure if you smooth this, make sure just mask this area and make sure your mesh thickness is the same. So if I press wrong button and then the brush is changed to something like this brush is only can be selected by shift and control. I can go to the preference, config, and restore custom UI like this. So I press that one and now my brush is turned back. So I want to add some thickness on this part here. Since the one on the side here is a bit too thin before, it was a bit too much. Okay, standard should be fine. So smooth this part. Make sure the connection on the back looks good. You can add some line here if you want. I think no need, because this part here is a bit big, so the fold soup should be big like this. It's for a thicker material. Make sure the curve looks good from the side here. Okay, now adjust the other parts. Same as before, need to smooth this when the T-pose. Now adjust the curve. If you see here, there's a mistake like this. Just smooth that on the lower subdivision and go to the up. Smooth that again. Higher subdivision, smooth that again. So I'm smoothing the edges. Make sure it has a similar thickness. I will pinch this part here since it looks a bit thicker. Make sure you see, as you can see, that when I pinch it, it shrunk this also. So I'll just mask topology and using move. Check your reference. This part here should be more puffy to the inside like this. Now we adjust the curve. This here should be more sharper line here. I turn on AccuCurve. Turn off it again. And adjust the position like this. this here. I can move this using AccuCurve also. Yeah, it's hard to get this. Maybe we can do that by pulling this more inside. Something like this. But it's create this weird curve right here, so it should be fine like this. As for the square inside here, we need to refine them as well, since now the one on the center is a bit too wide compared to the one on the side, so we need to adjust it as well. So try to make them evenly, to distribute evenly, and make sure your intersection, as you can see here, it's a bit too thin on the center, and you can see the intersection here if you turn on double. So I need to move them more like this, so we have more thickness on the center of the mesh. Something like this, just smooth. Check the reference. This has another curve like this, so you just need to follow it. This part also, let me try to follow the reference. The shapes will look a little bit weird like this. I think I'm not going to do that. I'll just make this curve a bit better. I think like this should be fine. Make sure you just check the one on the side as well. This part right here, if you want to a bit more sharp, just use AccuCurve, same as before. Check the intersection. Should be fine. I know this square here is different, but should be okay for now. Now I will match this thickness. Since this one here a bit too thin, I'll just inflate it a bit. And this part here can make better curve. This top here can be more rotated as well. I'll select this here and pull it like this, so we have more outer part visible. For the faults as before, just big faults like this. Keep the balance, check the balance. Improve the smooth. Okay, now we can move. The line is still there. Just use the clay smooth to clean that up. Let me check my reference again. Okay, next one right here. Smooth the part. If we smooth too much, it will be look like this, so we need to pull that up. Or just use standard brush. This one on the reference, it should be flipped to the back a bit like this. Hopefully it will work. Maybe just a little like this should be fine. Check with the other part. Yeah, now you can see this shapes here is parallel to this one. So let me adjust the curve. This here can pull this. Like this one here, smooth this part. I think looks better now. Check the perspective also. I'm still not sure about this part here. Let's rotate this. Looks a bit better maybe. Yeah, let's go with this one. And now the last of the cape here. This distortion, just curve it inside like this. Match this one. I think this one, this fur here need to be up like this, so we can have a better gap between the cape here. Okay, so I want to try rotate this a bit to front like this, just to show some variation. And on the reference, it looks should be rotated. This one here, create that angle like this, and this part here to the top so you can see the white part. Should be like this. Now I'll smooth the parts, this white part here. And add a bit folds in this area. This curve not good. Improve this. Check the intersection. Should be fine. Now you can see this gap here is a bit visible. I can hide the entire stuff here. I think I need to unhide the shoulder cape here. So this will be a bit problem. So I need to rewinding this. Select this part. Select this part, turn it like this. I'll rotate this like this, so it stop right on the fur. This part also, we'll select the top part and rotate. Rotate like this. This part not really visible, but we'll just do it anyway. Like this. Hide the boots. One also. Now the part is much cleaner, and here I can continue the line. Check how it looks like. from the back especially. Adjust the smooth. This one right here. Still wanna add some modification on this part. Let me store my morph target. Let me adjust it. Or like this, I guess. Okay, let me unhide everything again. This one here, the silhouette is disturbing the line of this gloves here. So I think I need to rotate this down like this. I'm not sure if it's disturbed. The weight, the proportion. I think it should be fine like this. Yeah, now it's under the gloves. Now we can see the gloves better. Make sure the gap between each cape is the same. So now let me add this back part here, the strap on the back. This right here. This one a little bit distortion here. You can take a new one. Select this one and insert. Select the new one. Hide that part. Now from here, just follow the line. Follow the outer shapes of the cape here. AccuCurve. I think this one is a little bit too thick, so I'll just lower this down a bit using move. Select. Turn off AccuCurve. Okay, should be fine. Now this part right here, just focus on the tip, on this golden part here. Auto group. Move it right here, and now we see this part here need another smoothing. Can use the gizmo, and now this go to the lower subdivision level. Select the line, select the strap, and rotate it. Should be have some gap like this. Make sure to check the higher resolution. This right here should be around here. Now from here, use AccuCurve, move this back a bit by bit, and watch its lens here. Just use damn standard like this. Pull them out a little. This part here can curve like this, and it should have some gaps. This strap is not glued to the cape here. I think it's a bit thinner. You can just pinch. Instead of using pinch, I think it's better just select this here, move it outside like this. Yeah, maybe pinch just work as well. Here, change this like make sure the intersection looks good. Now I'll continue on the next one here. Which is it? This one here, also distorted, so kind of take a new one, insert this one here. This one looks way longer compared to this one. Sometimes it's not good, but sometimes in this case I think it's pretty fine. Or maybe I can just make them shorter, the surface I mean. This part like this should be okay. Now selecting this auto group, there's an intersection here, should be fixed easily like this. These other metal parts here. Now the middle parts. Lower subdiv, make this bit thinner and longer. Try to make this one here. Curve here. As you can see now it's stretched like this. We need to undo that. Go to the higher subdiv, curve it like this. Adjust the position. I think this one can be a bit adjusted like this. The curve, yeah, it should be fine like this. We can see this strap here from the front, which is matched with the concept here. Adjust the thickness. Just like this. Yeah, it's a little bit longer compared to this one. You can just add more gaps on the curve just to show this line is actually similar length compared to this strap here. Clean up these parts here. Don't forget to save your files. Well, this time we still have perspective on. So sometimes when the perspective is on, when you try to brush something from the lower perspective compared to the top perspective, the depth of your brush is sometimes it's changing. So keep that in mind. So sometimes that's why I prefer to have my perspective turned off usually. But of course I need to check how's the model looks in perspective, so sometimes I turn that thing on again. So let's move on the next one here. I think this one is not that distorted, so I'll just take a new one here. Insert. Auto group. Let's move this one here. This tree. A bit here. Need to adjust this blue part here. This blue purple, actually this colors looks purple, so but that one can be achieved when we texturing, I guess. Later we will add more poly paint, add some shading, so the model will be much better for the presentation. This one, make them longer, curve, go to higher subdivision, curve this one also. Pull that one. Actually, I'm thinking that it's maybe easier if we just use topo brush, create a new line instead of using this line, because how curvy the cape area. But it should be okay if we're using this one here. It's only one left. So here, a little bit like this. Pull the white part out. Now adjust this purple, blue parts. Just mask this too. Rotate. I think it's a bit bigger, just to get a better balance. this part here actually not connected to here. It's more on the tip of the cape, so I'll just follow that. Yes, just reduce the size following the reference. Here should be help with the ships. Wait, I think this need to be rotated a bit. So we can see it better from here, from the front view. This part here will be similar. Move it up like this, maybe. Make sure it's really smooth, the mask. The curve here is not good, so just quick fix on that. Also the thickness is not even, so just quick just to thin, I think. Just quick smooth. Okay, almost there. It's this one here. I'm not sure why it's... Oh, this is caused by this here. I'll make a duplicate. Go to the previous one. And now here, dull over. Select this part, dull hidden. This one here. And then we remove this daughter part, dull hidden. Go to the top part, merge down, reconstruct. Now it should be fine. Make sure it's connected. Now let's work on the final parts here before we adding the button. Before started, insert, auto group, this. And this one here should be on the tip. This one looks bigger since it's on the front perspective. Something like this. Metal part, move it here. Now adjust the strap. This part here, damn standard. Check the reference. Okay, now we will do the final thing, which is adding the button. I'm going to save first, and for adding the button I will select this part here, clone, so we have a new one here. Select this part, append this one, select the other one, append or insert. So the reason I'm doing this, so I don't need to unhide all other part, which is will take some times. So from here I will delete lower. So now I go to the IMM clothing, adjust my draw size. As you can see, if I using the same, for example here I press 25 here, if I hold control while dragging this brush here, I get the exact size of 25. If I hold it again, it got 25. The size is the same, but if I zoom out like this, it will create a bigger, although this draw size is the same, 25. So what we are going to do is we need to turn on this dynamic size. Just, you see this dynamic here, just double click on that and then turn that thing on and adjust your draw size. Let's see, adjust it with your reference here. I think it's about 20 maybe. Let's change it. 20. I think it's a little bit small, but it should be fine. 20. So we go with the 20 and adjust this brush placement a bit. Yeah, I think we need to go a little smaller, I guess. Later on we'll inflate this. Okay, let's try with 20. So we need to do is just dragging and then hold control and then first split unmask point. So we have this part here, and now we will add another one on every points here, intersection here. So I'll just pick her using orientation here. I think the depth mask brush placement here need to be a bit above. So now it's follow my camera, the placement. I'm not really sure actually adding the one on the edge here. Maybe I'll just keep it empty. Okay, let's see, this is 20. Let me group, and yeah, I think I will delete the one on the edges here, or maybe not, we'll see. Still hidden, so maybe this work. Let's see, insert this one here, dynamic subdivision. Yeah, I think it looks pretty fine. Just another one here, so because the gap here, if you can see, I don't want to add something here because it's too close with this part here, similar with this one. So let's another one here. Okay, so the same one. Okay, we can have this one here, maybe, or maybe not. So this part here, let's go with the center one. Yeah, I don't want to add this because it's too close with here. Can add this one maybe. So continue. Okay, now we need to adjust. I use dynamic subdivision. Adjust the parts so it won't be too hidden. It's okay if the button is stretched just a bit, as long as the shape looks kind of sphere like this. So let's continue. Okay, I think it looks fine. Delete this one. I will delete this strap here that we don't use it anymore. Insert the button here. Make sure the intersection. Now let me turn on the base and the stops here. Now we're almost finished our model. So the things left is adjusting the color, so refining the color, adding some shades, and we will add these effect parts here, and we will duplicate this bunny model here, just add another one here. Okay, so that's all for this class. See you in the next one.